All right, so the pressure's off me. I am now officially not the newest radio host in Ottawa anymore. I think that's a good thing as well. There's a young lady in town who looked at sort of the local landscape and went, you know, I think I want to put my own footprint on this. Her name is Grace Odumo. She's here in the studio with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Grace. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So what is it that made you look out and say, you know what, I need to effect some change here? What is it that you felt like was missing?
I just felt that the radio industry was missing a young voice in there to speak up for the young artists.
And how did you go about doing this, Grace? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people sitting at home going, wait a minute, how do I start my own radio station? How do you do that?
Well, basically, I looked up programs that you could possibly use, but then I found Blog Talk Radio, which is an internet radio station, that was the easiest to use. Basically, you just go sign up, and then you have a domain name, and you do with it what you want.
So it's kind of like a podcast type of idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, same idea?
Yeah.
And what is the specific focus of your show? Is it just like a chat show, or do you have something specific that you're trying to achieve with it?
I interview artists mostly, but I also interview regular people who are interesting. Like starting from the 21st, I'm going to have a career week where I interview Element Web Studios, who did my logos and branding, and TKPR, who is in charge of Ottawa International Film Festival, a little bit of both.
And a lot of this is based around Canadian artists as well that you don't feel like are getting enough attention as well. Can you give me some examples of who?
Silent T, Mike Clef, and Basement. They're all artists who have inspired me personally because ever since I knew them, they've always been at work. They've released mixtape after mixtape. They're always in the studio, and right now they're all working on releasing more mixtapes, and Mike is performing at the Hometown Heroes this Saturday.
Okay.
So how are you going to use your talk show to enhance their careers?
Promo. Basically, I play their music.
So specifically just by playing their music and talking to them, or are you going to sort of connect this in some way, or how are you going to do it?
A little bit of both. Like for my Kate Reeve interview, I played another local artist, Jamilian, his song at the end of it, which was one of his newer songs, and I'm planning to interview all the artists that I mentioned coming up soon. So.
And it's not limited to just Canadians either. There's some worldwide focus as well, but you kind of funnel that into Canadians, right?
Yeah, like recently I interviewed Jazzy Meja, whose older sister is Natalie of Girlicious Pussycat Dolls, and this Thursday I'm going to be interviewing an Atlanta artist named Algie. So.
Okay.
How do you choose the big names that you want to interview? Is there something specific about them that draws you to them? Is there something about their talent that you admire?
I look at people if they're talented, but at the same time, I follow them on Twitter, and if they're kind of like Twitter snobs, I'm not going to bother interviewing them.
Is there, I mean, with the obvious exception of the Easy Breakfast Show at 99.7 Easy Rock, is there someone in media that you look at and you go, wow, that's the person I would like to be like?
Everybody who's out there, because it's not something that's easy to do. Like, a lot of people can't, go and put themselves out there. So anyone who's willing to go on TV every day or the radio, I look up to.
You mentioned Twitter, so I'm assuming, is social media a huge draw for you as well? Do you look at that kind of thing, and how do you use it?
Oh, it's a huge draw. I'm always on Twitter all the time, twitter.com/GraceMaureen. That's what I use to put up pictures. Like, since I've been here, I've been taking pictures, posting them on my Twitter, my Facebook fan page, everywhere. Twitter is where a lot of artists and I talk. I was talking to Algie on Twitter yesterday about our interview coming up. Mm-hmm.
And do you choose artists according to their Twitter and Facebook and that sort of thing? I mean, you mentioned that if they're Twitter snobs, you don't necessarily want a part of them. Do they do things on Twitter in particular that you admire and that attracts you?
Yeah, when I created my Twitter, I started following a lot of people who aren't known. So if I look at your bio and you're a musician, I favorite you. And when I have time, I go and look at your music and then ask you for an interview if I like your stuff.
And really quickly, what's your Blog Talk Radio name?
blogtalkradio.com/GraceMaureen.
Wow, wonderful to meet you, Grace, and congratulations on all your endeavors, and good luck in all the future ones that you have, too. I know you're interested in TV. Call us right now. Here, you can come back anytime you want, all right?
Thank you. I'd love to.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a really quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.